Okay, we got an update, finally. It's been a while since I showed this. There's the present state of the scrap-built solar shed, garden shed, whatnot. Here you go, camera lady. And still got a side this side. Got some of the siding on that side. Got an old garden window over here that I'll side around. That actually came from 3 places ago that we lived. I had actually given it away to a neighbor, and he'd never used it. So I saw it. I'm like, "Can I have that back?" He's like, "Sure." So I got a place to hang some of my tools, keep my stuff dry. The lawnmower will probably end up in here. Not this one, but this one and the rider will probably end up in here. And the main event, if you look along here, is these are Renogy 320 watt panels, 6 of them, and they came with these connectors, and I know you can buy kit type stuff that hooks them together and combines them, but I just went ahead and bought a 10-pack of these little oh, the cat, look at the cat. He was climbing up the side. That's funny. Of these, rather than having twisties or the expensive stuff, a pack of 10 of these was like $40. Anyway, so I have all the positive connections on this side, all the negative connections on this side. Kind of makes it easy to keep track of. I told you this would be short, but I mean, I'm 6 feet tall and I just barely have to dip under that. And then the panels are a little bit higher. Now the first step in, I definitely have to duck, but you're only there for a moment. So what else do we have going on here? Well, in addition to close to 2,000 watts max solar, I have this will barely handle the solar panels on here. If I had a single more or 100 watts more, I wouldn't want to test it. But this is a 60 amp model, up to 60 amps, and I'm running about 55 if the sun's perfect. So the sun's usually not perfect. To continue with scrap theme, I used a few of these wires are actually just leftover wires from old projects. I also used some of the scrap wires that I cut off of their connectors in the setup. If you look, if you're still watching, you might be interested in the electrical aspects of it. So each of the pairs of panels I consolidate. So the negatives off of 2 panels I consolidate here, here, and here, and then I combine them from there, and then they all run back on. This is 10 gauge. Again, do your math. Make sure you're not doing too far a drop for voltage drop, that sort of thing. 10 gauge does the trick, and I had some scrap left over, so that works. So that runs down to your charge controller. Make sure you put it in the right spot. Photovoltaics in, and then you have your 2 lines to your battery negative, battery positive, down to your battery. Right here, our big battery. This is equivalent to the both of them I have in the other shed. It's 24 volt system, makes it so you can run smaller wires. Scrap built. These, I don't know where I lost them, but I lost the lugs that came with it. These are bolts off of a 94 Dodge Shadow ES. My dad's car, and then my car, and probably somebody's car still. Who knows? The thing ran great. And then this is just old copper pipe that I ran old jumper cables, and I cut them down to the length that I wanted. And then, of course, this is scrap wire that we were talking about earlier. Ran them both in there, hammer it down flat on this rock here, because I'm got a super awesome setup here. And then I had a Renogy inverter in the other shed, and I tried this one for this case. So 2,000 watts continuous, 4,000 surge. It's going to give us a lot of power. So it'll be interesting to see how many. I'm thinking about taking 2 circuits in the house completely off grid power, which would be pretty cool. Trick there is just making sure you're not remotely close possibility of feeding power back into the grid. So this is a matter of pulling them right out of the junction box. So what else? Camera lady? Anything cool you like about it? Up on the roof, I used blackjack I just use this all-weather roofing cement for the seams on the panels and between the wood. Let me grab this from you, camera lady, and get up closer so you can see it's not a very clean job, but I have that between the wood. I've got them clamped to the wood, or screwed to the wood. And then where they meet, I've got it plastered in there too, so it'll stay weather tight. What else? What else? What else? Oh, last thing. Here you go, camera lady. Last thing I want to mention. I don't usually like saying negative things. I guess in this case, it's what you get what you pay for. This is Lowe's brand Project Source. I was at the end of the tube, very first one I'd used with this, and when you get to the end, this plunger didn't have cushion of the resistance anymore, so it hit, and I was applying slow, steady pressure, and it just popped right off. See that? That's how it's attached. It's just the metal is like, I don't know, not even real rivets. I don't know what the heck that is. It's not a weld, but it just popped right off. So this one's garbage, unless I want to throw some rivets in it, which I don't really want to hassle with it. Just saying, if you're going to use a caulk gun more than once, that barely made it through one tube. Take a look at the cat. He's checking things out. Look at the garden. Look how big the zucchini got. Isn't that wild? We've had zucchinis like, what, like this? Like this, right?
Bigger.
Bigger. Anyway, I do like the tar to waterproof around my electronics. These old deck boards, I just plastered some tar on there. I kind of like the contrast look there with the black and the treated wood. Anyway, what else should we tell them? In here, more scrap. I don't know what I'm going to do these nails. I'll probably pull most of them out, leave a couple just to hang little somethings on. But we're going to have the charger for the Cobalt 40 volt outdoor tools. I think I'll leave the charger for these in the other shed. But I definitely want to bring load out here so we burn up some of the power we're producing, but not in a wasteful way. So I'll probably... Oh, the one circuit I'm definitely going to put on this is the fridge and the freezer. So if we ever have power outages, it doesn't affect us. We've already got, power running it. So don't even have to switch anything over. Another thing I was thinking of doing was like some kind of like, for like boats onshore, like shore power and then not shore power. They've got some pre-built stuff for that. So that'd be an idea if somebody was just kind of watching this video to get ideas. Something you could look into doing, because they've got like switches where it's just a simple flip of the switch to go from your battery back to the grid. But anyway, hope you enjoyed. Maybe get some ideas. It's a scrap built. So the building's not square because I literally just stepped it off, kind of, sort of, drilled the holes, put the posts in. And that's fine for everything else, but it's not fine for the panels. So if you actually see right here, this panel seam, I jog over to hit the next panel. So the lower panels are offset, or this way, from the upper panels because the whole structure is kind of twisted and wonky. So I had to jog it over to keep it centered-ish over the structure. It looks kind of neat, I think, but I'm weird. See ya.